It makes me very crazy. It makes me sick. He was someone that you look up to, in a sense. He was famous. The children are drawn to that. I saw it myself when he was here at the schools. The excitement that he draws deep from within the children.
Plus, he's held out as somebody that's healthy. He's gained health, and then he's on television, and so there he is as a magnet. You tried to pull him out of the fantasy and get him to give you real details about actual instances, and I thought this was really interesting. Let's listen to it.
Tell me about the best time that you have ever had when you've done that, you know, with whether it's a little girl or a little boy. I want you to explain to me. Can you tell me? Tell me.
It just felt so good. I mean, it felt so good.
How old? Okay.
Like 11, 12, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Little tiny, you know. And it was just, I just started over. I mean, just absolutely, you know, it was wonderful.
Do you remember her name?
I don't remember her name now.
Well, what have you done with the little boys?
I mean,
Like how old? Because I want to know.
Probably 11, 12. I'd say probably 10, 11, 12, something like that.
And they just let you?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Is it just anybody? Well, how do you get it so that you can get to that, you know, to do that? How do you?
Well, it was in, you know, part of it was direct entries with it. You know, it's a lot more accepted.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Right.
And just
And that happens.
I had this little boy. It's amazing.
Really? What makes it different from anyone else?
You know, others watching their little. It's just amazing.
What was your first time? And with who?
It was probably in Thailand, I guess.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, you can't go to Thailand all the time.
No. That's why they gotta find some stuff over here, you know? I mean, that's why we do it the right way. We get you to text stuff and really get you in the sun bikini and get them looking at you, and you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And get it more they come to you kind of thing. I think that'll be huge.
So they enjoy it, you think?
Uh-huh. No, definitely. They definitely do.
He's got no filter on it at all. Right?
Nothing.
Nothing
No.
at all. Do you think it ever concerned him that if you came forward, that he would lose everything, that he had put himself in your hands?
He gave me the impression that never crossed his mind. He never once said anything to me.
That's just
regarding
narcissism.
that.
That's just like, I'm bulletproof.
He's like, I'm invisible. I'm insolent. I'm untouchable. That's what he was acting
I
like.
haven't diagnosed this guy because I haven't met him, but this pattern of conduct is consistent with a malignant narcissism. They see things only from their point of view and think that their story's selling. If it's feeling good to them, they just assume you're buying it, and they just get on a roll, and they don't read the room, they don't pay any attention, they just assume. If they're telling it, you're buying it.
I understand.
He had to assume, and the fact that you weren't saying, shut up, you creepy son of a bitch, he just had to take that as a go sign.
And I'd like to clarify the reason why I didn't say shut up to him and stop him from talking to me. I was in shock. You have to understand, when someone says something like this to you, everyone perhaps has a different reaction.
Especially when he's spilling out every freaking piece of detail what he'd done with the little kids.
To question, did I really just hear what this man just told me?
Coming up.
He solicits adult women for sex with minors, wants you to watch him have sex with a young girl, watch you perform sex acts with a 10-year-old boy. It's a rogues gallery of perverted and deviant behavior. The phone down, or we very likely wouldn't know what we know.
That's correct.
And then he gets married and has children of his own. Are you just scratching your head?
I am. There was a time that he told me the children that he wanted, the younger the better.
I just wonder if you've ever stepped back and taken a look at what you were a spark plug in tumbling down. According to the indictment, he solicits adult women for sex with minors, solicits victims as young as 14, 15, travels across state lines to New York to engage in sex acts with minors and child prostitutes 13 and 14 years of age, tries to arrange sex with minors through escorts. He's found in possession of nude images and videos, some, maybe all, received from Russell Taylor of minors engaging in sexually explicit conduct, met some of the minors previously during social events in Indiana, knowingly conspired to distribute and receive commercial child pornography. The fantasies he talks with you about, wants you to watch him have sex with a young girl, watch you have sex with a young boy, watch you perform sex acts with a 10-year-old boy, share a 10-year-old boy, watch young boys get aroused, see your children naked, your children's friends naked, put cameras in your children's room and put them in a locker room. The recording alludes to sex with a girl, 11 or 12-year-old, sex act with a little boy, perform sex on boys 10, 11, 12 years old. It just goes on and on. It's a rogues gallery of perverted and deviant behavior.
And to understand, this was one phone call of hundreds.
Yeah, which culminated in all of this indictment information. After all of this, sum up Jared Fogal, in your opinion.
Plain and simple. Jared Fogal is a monster.
Coming up.
You just opened my eyes to the fact that I am one of his victims.
Has he tried to contact you since any of this happened?
Jared Fogal audio tapes. His child targets.
It was today that prosecutors revealed the shocking details of their case.
Fogal is pleading guilty to one count of travel to engage in sexual conduct with a minor and one count of distribution and receipt of child porn. He will face 5 to 12 and a half years in prison, and he will pay $100,000 to each of 14 victims.
The U.S. Attorney's Office made a point of saying it doesn't matter who you are, famous or not. If you exploit children and get caught, you will face a harsh penalty.
Has justice been served here with this plea deal?
I don't believe so, personally. He will be behind bars for a shorter period of time than
Yeah,
he
but he'll be let
deserves.
out after he serves his time.
I believe that
No
the
amount of
laws
time would ever satisfy the
should
jury.
be
He should,
changed. I don't
he should be
believe that
locked behind bars
justice
without
is
parole.
served.
You've done more than any citizen or mother can be reasonably expected to do at cost to you, cost to your family. How do you move on from this?
I move on hoping that other people listening to the story, that it just helps to raise awareness about predators, that they are out there and they could be someone that you least expect, and not to diminish the fact that if it's a teacher, your coach, a famous person, that the whole thought of it is
It could be a
just
pastor
protect
or even a
yourself
police
and know
officer.
the markers. What I've learned is that they target your children, and you need to make your children aware of keeping themselves safe.
Will you continue to wave this warning flag?
Yes, I will.
But can you do that at a cost you can afford to pay?
I'm not sure, but I'm certainly willing to.
Because here's the thing, you've been through something that leaves you changed.
Yes, it does.
It leaves you broken, leaves you changed. You saved a lot of people a lot of misery because of what you've done. And the truth is that if you look at the literature over the years, pedophiles or just sexual predators in general, research tells us but that they'll have
Or pedophiles that are
anywhere
called MAPS,
from
mind attracted persons.
25 to 100 victims throughout their lives. Those are the ones that we know about. So when you take one off the streets, you impact a lot of lives. And this is an individual that was not your average offender because he had a celebrity magnet that gave him a lot more opportunity than most. The truth is, a lot of victims here. So, good has been done, number one, in getting him off the street, and number two, because it is high profile, it gets a lot of attention and it raises awareness. If it was somebody we never heard of, frankly, it wouldn't raise awareness. There have been 100 arrested since him that nobody's ever heard of. But this one people talk about and hear about, so it causes them to be more sensitive, go hyper alert. So it serves a purpose there well. But you have children, and they deserve 100% of their mother. They don't deserve a broken mother, or they don't deserve a paranoid mother. They don't deserve a fetal position mother. They don't deserve a mother that doesn't give them all, and you're the only mother they'll ever have, which means you got to take care of you. You got to take care of you. Whatever you have to do, not ever forget, but to heal whatever's happened in you so that you don't get dragged down by him. That's the real crime here, is if even though you're through with him, that he continues to impact your life by leaving some really bad marks on you.
I never thought of it that way. You just opened my eyes to the fact that I am one of his victims. And that is something that I will stand tall and not become. I won't.
Has he tried to contact you since any of this happened? Has he tried to contact you since any of this happened?
No. We changed my telephone numbers, my email addresses. I even, as a longtime TV host and radio show host, I had my career and I needed to step away from that to make sure there was no contact. My entire life as a divorced and single mom of 2 children just changed completely because of all this.
It's time for you to set a goal to reclaim your life and your spirit and who you are. Don't let this define you for the rest of your life. If it's changed who you are, if it's damaged your personal truth, then you need to heal that. That needs to become something that you say, I'm the only mother my children are ever going to have, and we're going to get back to our lives. And if you don't, you're giving your power away to Jared Fogal, and he's a monster. He doesn't deserve power in your life.
You're absolutely right, and I thank you for that.
You've done your duty. Put him in your rearview mirror and move on.
I will do that, and I appreciate the inspiration and the time that you've spent here with me.
You've been a major factor in taking a serious threat off the street. Well done.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
It's never fun for us to deal with this kind of content, but being well informed means being well prepared. And the truth is that there are high-risk individuals, there are predators that live among us. And it's only a small percentage of offenders that are truly strangers. Most of the sexual offenders are known to their victims. So what can you do with the information you've heard today? You can learn to watch for those that might be grooming your child. As much as it sounds like I'm asking you to be paranoid, I'm just asking you to be aware. Ask yourself, is there a reason for this person to be inserting themselves into,
especially if you got a grown-ass person, that's giving that much lavish attention to a minor, more than they should receive. Excess amount of attention.
Once your child has been violated. It can change them.
I would say most, if not all, the minor attracted people do take advantage and prey on children and do unspeakable acts.
It heightens your sensitivity. I do hope it heightens your awareness. A special thanks to Rochelle for joining me today. I know it was difficult to revisit all of this, but again, I think it serves a very important purpose. Jarrett Fogal is scheduled to be sentenced in a federal court in Indiana on November 19th. The plea deal, which Fogal agreed to, has still not been accepted by the court and would see him serve only 5 to 12.5 years in prison. On August 19th, the very same
That's
day
not
Fogal
enough
was
the time in my
charged,
book.
His wife Katie filed for divorce. You can find more information on drphil.com, where we will have links or instructions